All right, cool. Oh yeah, I got a webcam. That's a new big thing. Hey, welcome guys. And we got some international people too, so they're speaking their own language. So try to be respectful for that. And there should be an easy way to just use Google Translate to um, translate that pretty quickly if you want. But I think we'll get started. How's that sound? Just not realizing that my head is in front of the watermark. Is there a way to get rid of that watermark? I guess you can if you use a bigger screen there than what I'm using. Okay. Um, cool. Alright, now I gotta look at the camera a lot more. Hi. So this is gonna be a little bit different. This is for the animation that I'm gonna be working on today. Is for a friend now. All the information you need is in the description. At least that one little bit that I added. Yeah, for Josh Scorcher. That's how you say it. I'm working on a bigger animation thing that's probably like 20 minutes in runtime. So it's gonna be a big project. So I just wanted to maybe let you guys in a little development of it, so we can. It's probably gonna be more of a work time kind of session and needing suggestions and stuff. So yeah, there's probably no real room for suggestions other than maybe like little tiny animation bits that I can really think of. Yeah, so I'll get started with here. So I drew basically the whole thing here of a Twilight puppet here. So this took like a couple months, and I've had a basic base for it already sculpted and drew up. So it's a puppet, flash puppet. So as I've been showing you with my other projects, that how this all works. It's by having every bit in different layers, and then by adding a whole bunch of them, we can create a cool character here. So spent a long time trying to make sure that the spinning works well and all of them fit together nice. So not sure if it's totally perfect yet, so I wanted to go through some of its pacing with actually by utilizing it in a video now. So this is Fall Life Celestia. These are storyboards that I was gonna say like a co-worker, not really, worked on. So they're just kind of simple here, but I think we're gonna be like redoing the teaser that I worked on that I animated. So I'm gonna be animating like this part. So I did not draw any of these storyboards here, but I did draw storyboards in this one. And this is the file this is the final animation version of it that is in the YouTube video in the description. I hope that's there. Yeah. So here's this as the working animation file. So I think I'll be trying using, this is an older version of the puppet of Twilight, so I wanted to spruce her up, and she's I used the unicorn Twilight proportions, so definitely need to like fix this part. We can see like her neck length is kind of short in this one. That if we like go back here, she's like a giraffe in this one. So, and I changed the wing art, I think. Yeah. So that's gonna be a couple things. I think her horn's a bit bigger, so just like I think I was deciding whether to just try and fit the animation with this Twilight model to then fit into the alicorn proportions, or just to start from scratch and then might get a better result that way, so I think I'll try that. But we can see like how complex her animation is. That's the spotlight. Let's get Twilight. Oh yeah. Did I have it? Oh, I have a camera. Oh, we know about that. Cameras screw everything up. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Here's the biggest shot. The most complicated one that I had to work on. Just that nice of her spinning around was really fun, and to keep her in proportion and stuff. Yeah. So it's just like I hear something, then the camera spins around, and then it zooms in, and she kind of does a little take there. So, but in the new storyboards that we got here, that I'm not sure if the storyboarder that worked on this wants me to shout him out or not. So they did it where instead of, and now it'll do a zoom in instead, and then she talks. There, you can see it like that. Twilight Sparkle, welcome. Which is a bit different than this teaser where she says Princess Twilight Sparkle. There's a bit of a zoom, but it doesn't go full zoom on her face. Like Twilight should be, you know, here and off to the side like that. Yeah. Chat stop? Okay. Cool. Yeah. Thanks. Sauce Smell, you're there too. Cool. So, I could zoom in way more on this, and with the field of focus, that thing's farther away as you get close. Well, let's see. So as you zoom in, things closer start to get more blurry than me. So as we zoom in, Twilight is closer, so she'll get more blurry. And I feel like I'll probably push the zoom more in to match this new updated storyboard that we got here. And then there's a new shot after that, and then it just keeps going for like 10 minutes practically. And then this is part 1 that I got here, so is that right? Let me just double check to see I'm not using the wrong file. Like, I remember calling the animatic. Okay. No, I just called it animatic, and then there's animatic part 2, which we won't be able to get to today. So I just wanted to focus on these. How many shots is this? So here's one shot. One shot is all this. And then 2 shot is her waking up. And everything outside the blue box doesn't matter. It doesn't exist to the camera animation itself. So if you hide it, then this is all you get. So I can put whatever I want outside the frame and it won't matter. That's why these are not connected and stuff, so it doesn't matter until we actually have to zoom out. Yeah. We'll probably go through this real slow too later. But here's shot 2, where it then zooms out. We can see like we're in the drone room. And then we got this spinny shot, which friggin' this whole perspective of the scene of it spinning was really fun, because I try to add as much perspective reality to it, that you can see how long this wall is, and as we go it actually tilts and gets shorter. So I wanted to add a little bit that you probably won't notice, but in Twilight's a movie clip, which is a Flash specific thing where I can add filters on top of it, like these filters, drop shadow, blur, and all these. I think I use blur here, but the weird thing with Flash is that if you make it a movie clip, regardless if you add any filters to it, it won't actually play in real time. That might have been just some from like the classic older versions of Flash where it probably could not actually like handle it or actually compute it in real time, so we're still stuck with not able to see the animation as we go in live here. but as soon as we double click, we'll be able to see, you know, the actual animation that we should be seeing. So it just makes it a bit harder. I feel it's better to, if you know you're gonna add a filter, to add the filter last to make it a movie clip last. So you can see it as a graphic, which will then show it. And then after that is my own version of the title screen, which Josh changed it up and made it really look really nice. And then my end card of just adding my own little credit. So we added that in, and that worked out great. So alright, so now I'm gotta figure out whether to make this a new file, or make a new file, or I can save as this file as something else, or make a new file and then kind of, well, I'll have to import everything in anyway, so might as well just Control Alt save. It's over on my other monitor. Other monitor is over here. Okay, so I'm gonna call this. How many shots did we say we were? Were there like 3 or 4 shots? Okay. So this was. I should make a new folder. Make things easier. You get to see the fun file structure. So I'll call this shots for animation shots, like camera shots. Okay. And then this would be shots 1 dash wake up does that. I have to remember how many shots there were. And then turn around. I think I'll just do the 3 in this one file, because that's how many there are in here. So now I got shots 1 to 3 as a file, and I got the new version of Twilight, and I got the animatic. So I think we're pretty much ready to go to start working on this. So alright. So yeah, how we doing, chat? These are very, very complex. If starting from like the least complex is probably like, you know, probably like my kind of the simpler ones, the cartoons that I'm working on like recently. They're on 2, so it makes it easy to animate. And then, you know, you keep going up, and then you get to like the TV show style that gets incredibly complex as you dive deeper into each section of the characters, even that it gets crazy. So I think I'm gonna, because I think I'm pretty good with the timing, but I'm not too sure about the timing. The only real difference between this and between our animatic that we started with and what we're gonna end up with is basically at the end that we got this shot, which is the same. And then this shot, the third shot, is when it gets a little bit different, because then the hooded pony is called Vesper, and she's a bit mysterious about who she is. So we have to see who she is in the final video. I'm not sure if I should say it, but this, I believe this is based on a fanfic, so unless you've heard of that, then you'll know. So maybe you want to keep some spoilers out of the chat, but that's okay if you do. Okay, so yeah, the only thing that's different is that we got this extreme zoom, as seen by these arrows that all zoom into this one little square here, which I placed there. So yeah, so I was given these storyboards by storyboard artists, and then I put those pictures into this Flash file and added some tweens and figured out the editing, how long each box should take up, and because I was given this as a whole thing, so I needed to break it down. And by having this box only showing up the one box, so I'm able to, you know, just move this whole screen up and down. And we got these beautiful description boxes here where we can put descriptions of dialogue and what's happening. So We got really real difference is she looks up confused. Gap surprise. Gaps is what she says. Then we got a pan left, which rotate camera 90 degrees, then slow zoom into Vesper. And then she says a different line. And then she starts talking. And then she just smiles afterward. And then we got this new shot, which we won't get to today, hopefully. Got a question of what's the hardest part of doing these animations? The hardest part is kind of figuring out, you know, the basics of what you're doing. Cause like, it's kind of like sculpting, you know? It's like you can figure out like 1,000 ideas of what you want to sculpt. But then, you know, once you kind of get started, it's like, you know, once you know what you're doing, it kind of gets easier. So then it's just, you know, skill and technical stuff that you want to get through. So if you just practice, you know, all your technical skills, like I already know how to animate, so it makes that easier. So it's just really the storyboards. Going from script to storyboards, because your storyboards is like writing a script where you don't know exactly what is cliche or not. I know I've been saying stuff like that a lot, but cliches are very, if you want to be, you know, serious about it, that you don't want to add too many cliches. So back to it, stick into it. I think I'll just kind of go shot by shot, and then we'll leave the last one to be probably the most hardest, or at least most complex, because there's the turning around and the different camera stuff, which it's just a zoom, so it isn't too crazy afterward, which is different. But if we can see what I already had, what did I have here? So it's black. Oh yeah, these are my storyboards, that I drew at first, because I had to be the storyboarder, animator, artist, background designer, all of that I had to do for the teaser when we actually got into real production, the real story, that we hired a storyboarder. So I'm working with Josh as he's a director, and it sounds like he's working on doing real animation classes, so he's able to probably come around and help us with actual seeing what's technical or any stuff like that. So he's able to see like minute stuff that might be changed. What could we expect from the movie? It's hopefully good animation. Josh said that there probably will be maybe at least we know about we contacted about 2 more animators, so hopefully they're renowned, so they've been around plenty stuff, so they should really help with the the workflow. So the rest of it is probably just kind of taking off the fanfic and adding the newer story bits, like the anecdotes between Vesper and Twilight, or like a little discussion. So we're adding new episode vignettes of that. Yeah. Okay. In your other videos, did you use this same program to make the animations? Yes, I have not left Flash as an animation program ever. Not once. I never made another animation in any other program. So hopefully with the other animators, they'll be letting me work with Flash too, because I'm pretty much working on the actual animation right now for this project. Yeah. So right now I'm just gonna look at it and kind of go practically frame by frame to see if there's anything I can change. So I'm gonna start with this scene, this shot, and I've already saved it as a different file, so it's fine to start messing with things. So if there's anything that I can see, might just be like a little, you know, go back in and see just kind of tightening up and making sure things look. Now I can make things look kind of more professional, because last time I kind of hurried up and tried to do everything, and like I think I finished like the whole production of the teaser like in 10 hours or something. So excuse me. It was a bit of a very fast turnaround, but even for me, because you know I usually work fast, so and usually work slower with streaming because I'm having to really talk about it and make sure everyone knows what I'm talking about, with the we're on the same page all the time. So yeah, because I'm using a lot of mental energy to try to keep up my conversation with all you guys. So thanks for your support and keeping up with me. Yeah. All right. Honestly, I think this is pretty good. It's looking okay. Might try to make it a bit even. These are the Twilight's front hooves that she's waking up and she realizes that she's in a different place. So this is her first realizing and waking up kind of shot. I'm gonna move these down a bit because I moved everything. Adding that bit more shadow might look good. Got this black bit here. Oh, I got the focus there too. And now, because this is not a teaser where we wanted things to be really snappy and quick, I can kind of take more of my time. And I can say like this pan up is a bit too fast. So I'm gonna add like maybe 1 or 2 more frames of it. Yeah, needs a bit. It has a classic ease. Okay. But I think I'm gonna maybe like double that to be 40. And I think there should be a little overshoot in, because this is like her eyes looking up. Yeah, just adding those 2 frames there adds a bit more personality to it. It is, yeah. Every detail is important, yes. So just to make everything as professional and kind of, you know, all around good. So if you put, you know, details into it, into the little things, the overall picture will look good. Yeah, I never really liked this turn up here. So I'm trying to see. So I just kind of watch things over and over and kind of figure out the motion and try to figure out how better to do it. Because this is her kind of looking up further than before. And then this background, which it's saving, has these candles which have fire in it, and these are movie clips and they have fire that animates. So I animated these fire here too. So I'm just surprised how fast this turnaround was, considering just how much there was to do. I think I added a bit too much, like it goes whoop 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 stuff. So starts out slow and a bit too slow, and then it just cranks up, and then trying to soften it, try to soften the but try to keep things more even. So it goes down and then back up. So we should end up around there. So honestly, I need to bring back this more back up. And then it goes up. Okay. So this isn't too exciting because I'm trying to figure it out myself of what's actually happening. Because we're starting from the bottom here, and then we go up to that, and then so I think I need to again make these slower so I can really see what's going on here too. Yeah. I need to keep this and this basically the same. Okay. And as we go, we can see like it's getting a different kind of motion too. Like that's actually kind of looking pretty good. I think that goes up too much. Okay. So now these and this is basically the same. So you kind of want this to go a little bit further and then it kind of zooms up. Okay. So there's easing, 100% easing out here. So I might add a negative to kind of soften that even further. Okay. Like, we're pretty good with that. And there's nothing else in the way. Did I draw that? Probably. That was probably my own storyboard. So just want to make sure. Oh yeah, so I had the black. This is just a black square that had a gradient that goes from like 75 black to totally transparent. So it makes that kind of like a shade kind of effect to the shadow. Then she says, "What?" But I was in what? There might be, because it's her perspective, that she might be a little dip to it when she says what? What? So I need to figure out what parts should move for this tiny animation here that I'm just gonna kind of just dip the camera down a little bit, like what? Like she kind of gets a bit confused. And her arms, yeah, she's arms are already gone. Okay. What? 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 So it's just this little bit here. And easings are I'm sure I can explain that later. Okay. Yeah. Not much else really to say about it. Oh, thanks, Oswald. You think I should be hired for these? For my paper animations? Yeah, totally. I could see it kind of rotating too, so I might go into here and rotate. It's probably easier. And then overshoot, and then follow her. That's kind of fun. What? Of course, that doesn't really make sense, but because we're like, this is a perspective shot of Twilight looking through her eyes, so I think if I kind of accent like her head actually moving when she says that, might be fun. Okay, this is probably the first part where you have to like figure out. I can kind of deconstruct what I got here in terms of layers and stuff. So I got the whole background as a thing, so I don't really need that just yet. It'll have to do the zoom out, which is important. That's why I got the whole background there. So, hey, Deep Pokemon. That's a nice name. I got that, and I got this, the shading to make it much more darker than just, make the shading more consistent, I suppose, too. And I got this nice spotlight, which is just a yellow triangle that has way too much blur and kind of low opacity. So there, and then now we got Twilight, and then the background. Am I still gonna make animations on paper? I I decided that maybe not as a full animation to show just yet. I think I'll probably just do some more animation tests with it first to see if it's worth it or not. Because if I can't really translate it to use all my pictures to see what it actually looks like, and then I got all these, yeah, until I can have a much more, maybe more stable environment to draw. The light table I'm using isn't quite. I can't really sit at it without, it's got a barrier kind of thing, the little wall that I can't kind of get my legs underneath easy. So I would have to like swing my legs off to the side to sit at it. So that's not something I can kind of sit down for like a couple hours yet till I can figure out how to do that. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm looking through the library and seeing, I can move to here, that this is a hair, so I guess I'll put it under head. I don't know why I put these different folders. The folders don't really matter because you can just literally just type in here and see if there's any ears. Yep, it's like, yep, there's rear stuff, which I had, which is part of ear. Yeah. So, I made these kind of I made the base of this like a normal pony base like a couple years ago, and then I made Alicorn Twilight like only a couple months ago, so for the teaser to make sure. No, I didn't. For the actual animation of this, to make it, because I didn't realize that she should have been Alicorn. So, oh well, so now I have to go back and fix it all, so that's what I'm doing today. Probably not going to do all of it. See how it goes. I'm going to call these refs for references. Put it in here. Just put all these pictures in there. Just keep things. So yeah, that looks much better. There's Twilight head. Okay. So, because I already have, the Twilight in the shots 1 to 3 file, Flash doesn't like it when there's two things that are called the same thing in a library. So, because I really only change, the proportions of art, I'm gonna have to. I'm so thankful that I got this search and replace working. So I'm just able to look in here and see what's similar, and so I'm seeing a lot of twi. So now I have to choose what to actually call this, and it doesn't exactly matter. It's just for internal reference and indexing for Flash itself to figure out it. And for me to figure out, if I wanted the tree, then I would be able to just type in tree and find it easy. So I'm just probably going to call this maybe just twi v3, because that's my third iteration of it. Boop. Ooh, it's saving it. That's nice. How to save. Okay. So I'll just go in here and change everything so there's these are all the same, and so we'll get no conflict when I eventually put it in. Yeah, there's a conflict. Okay, and then it reverse it. Okay, so I must have cutie mark somewhere else. So I'm just looking through. I have a spike? I don't know what this is. Oh, wait. I don't know what this is then. Got a lot of hair. The ear. Okay. That's good. So where's the other? Okay. Here's the cutie mark, and these are, yeah, basically the same. I see now. But I think one's added. Must have symbolized it inside itself. So just for whatever's, call it 2. I like underscores instead of like camel. What's it called? Camel backing or something? But that's when you have If you have two words, then the first word will be all lowercase, and then you would have the two words, and then the second word, the first letter of the second word we capitalized. I just kind of find that kind of visually confusing to read, so I just do underscores for everything. It kind of makes everything, you know, extra long. Like you see here, like these are floating off because they're too long names, but yeah. Like I don't know why this is left main bot dong dangle. So I think we're good here. Okay, I just want to make sure that nothing's gonna be the same name. Save it a bunch. And then we'll go in here and make sure that everything's ship shape in here, and that this is the same as this, so I can see very barely that you can watch the hair or the wings and these legs change ever so slightly. So I'm gonna go back to one, highlight these, hold alt, drag these over here, and that should then copy all those frames over here. There we go. So now these are a duplicate of that. And we'll get into why, you know, this is all structured inside of here. So, and these are not, you know, all the symbols too. Like, if we go inside the head, then there's this many. This is its own symbol. So I dug inside the head, and now we got all these symbols. We can see like that. So, and then every one of these bits have their own internal frames too, where I can double click inside the mouth, and it has its own mouth frames, and some of those don't quite work, but they're special. And then the eyelids have a blank. So it just kind of gets crazy, like how much detail every bit has. These are all different, and then got a little animation of the ear flopping down too. So yeah, and then you would have to do all those kind of things for every angle too. So this will be a totally different art. So I'd have to draw every mouth frame inside of here just for this angle, and some of that I didn't quite finish. But even here, this is a different mouth, this is a different mouth. Then I have to draw these ears, these are all different too. And then these, once you get back, you can kind of just kind of copy and paste it. But I wanted to make sure that the hair was consistent, because I've noticed like some other people don't quite have the neck hair or the hair be not symmetrical. Like as you rotate it around, then this neck hair will follow being on the left shoulder the whole way around. Like I would notice some people would have the neck hair be in front on her right shoulder instead. So I just wanted to, and it makes it easier to animate too, that you always know, you know, the exact where things land and where symbols should be layer wise. So I think that's about that. So yeah, very, very long neck, because she's like grown up or something. She's accelerated as a pretty horse. This one. Okay. So I don't think there'd be too much difference to the form, but I have this extra layer. I just call these layers whatever down here, because I could put whatever in that slot, because I'm having multiple shots. So like I wouldn't call, you know, back here, like not necessarily, I wouldn't call it as, you know, hoof layer over here and does timeline, because in the next shot it won't be, this is not Twilight layer. So, but I think I will make a new layer just to make it easy. And I'll call it here, and we'll call this new Twi. Make a keyframe here, and we'll copy and paste and hope that Twilight will come in. There we go. Okay, there she is. Cool. And she's spinning around because we had the, that's how it is. Then at the beginning she spins, there's a leaf blank, and then at 50 frame, that's when animation starts here. So that's just my internal naming for that. So, yeah, basically everything here is pretty kind of customized to me and my work cycle. So, like I mean, I'm fine with using other people's work, like their puppets or something. I just kind of find it more fun if I'm gonna be working on it to, you know, make it my own, really. So, and that's a nice touch where the artist is also the animator. So, okay. That's about the same place. So, gotta save her there. I'll just probably go into the other, or it's only this scene. And then this, which isn't a scene anymore. Because we're not in the teaser, I feel okay to get rid of this Folly of Celestia title card. And then my end card, which is just, you know, stopping animated by text on top of my intro. That's in all my videos, so that was pretty easy to just drag and drop the actual, instead of making a video file and adding the text. I just thought it'd be more fun to have it be raw, so the quality won't be declined at any point. Alright, I'm going for about 40 minutes. I'm just about ready to start, so yeah. You always thought 2D or 3D animation would need more programs? I mean, yeah. Like we saw, like the Animate is, you know, actual, this is real paper and real pencil, so that's its own medium. And then art can be made in Flash, Illustrator, Photoshop, any of those will work. And then the animation might be just Flash or Toon Boom, whatever you want to choose there. And then the audio is totally different in post-production. If you want, it could be Premiere, After Effects, and then audio, whatever you want to use there. So it's not just like, you know, animation is multiple programs. It's the rest of the multimedia to get everything, sound and post-production and development takes a bunch of other programs, or, you know, real life paper and drawn it per hand for the animatics. So instead of right now, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and have her set it up. So now she's here. You can already see that she's a bit taller. So I think her butt's about the same height. So yeah. I think I make her a little bit shorter. There we go. So yeah. So she's just maybe like really only like half a year taller or something. Okay. Move on to, well, this shot to be extended with the new line that we got. Do. Gasp. And then we zoom in a lot, and now we got this new line, which is different from the teaser. Twilight Sparkle, welcome. And then there's the cut here. So, do I have, nope. I think I have a transcript line. Yep, okay. So I only really need the welcome part, because I think this is actually the same line. But just to make sure, I'll just copy it and paste it right here. See if that works or not. Did it work? Oh, it's loading. Oh, okay. It's on my desktop for a split second there if you want to go back. Now we got a new Twilight. Oh, that's interesting. I think I copied Twilight in by mistake. that's why it took a bit to load all that Twilight in. So I'm gonna go back and figure out what happened. I copied the frame and then I think I just copied it in instead of pasting the frame in, which yeah, Flash is a bit weird with that, defining between layers and frames and just copying and pasting are all different internally to itself. So okay, I just made that a bit. Oh god, I just had two sounds going on at the same time. See how long that takes. Don't worry about the twilights there.
Princess Twilight Sparkle.
So this one needs to move a bit to there.
Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Okay. And there's Wacom. Okay. So I'm gonna clear this one, and then I can move this down, and then get rid of new audio there. And then the only thing difference is that she says, well, come here. And then the next shot will be she talks, and then she's there, and then she flips around and says, who are you? And then the next shot. Okay. So here we go. We're getting there. This is all pretty much prep that I would do if this was a, you know, like a clean animation, then I obviously wouldn't do this much stuff. I would probably just, you know, place stuff in and then start posing things and animating from there. So this is a bit different because I already had. I'm taking an already animated bit and then kind of redoing and changing bits as we needed. So okay. So I have to add more lip sync to that too. For Vesper here. Yeah, we updated her design too. So allowed to in my own time probably to change her a bit too. But she's just right now just a Twilight with grayed out colors, so that was a bit cheaper than trying to make a whole new puppet for her, you know. Okay, so we'll go back and see what we got. This is black and it's a movie clip, so we can't see what we're doing. We saw a little bit of a focal camera focus in there too, because to like show that her eyes are dilating and trying to focus.
I was in. What?
That's cute. Okay, I just love that little tilt. It's nice. What? Okay, now we should have new Twilight. Where's new Twilight? New Twilight. There you are. Okay, I think I'm ready to start animating this. Once I figure out the rest of the shot, is there any else changes that we wanted between it? Cause that's basically the same. How did scratches her? She rubs her right eye. And she's got a cute little human hand here, which doesn't really make sense. So that's also something to take care of. Taps the ground, I guess. That's weird. She blinks. Blinks awake. She briefly looks at the ground. She looks upward. And then it says zoom out to show the whole hall. Like that. And that's the whole thing, which, as we saw without Twilight here, it's just this little bit. Which I think was pretty good. I mean, honestly, I only need to make her neck longer out of all this. So I can see what that would look like. Here's the turnaround. Animation starts here. And then now we're here. And her head is there. And she kind of rubs it. I would animate the head a little bit different with the eye. Not sure why she would immediately look at the ground. and then she flips and looks a little bit upward, but I can probably change it to really make her really look upward. And then her, as we saw in the derpy on the train video a couple days ago, I had the hair bounce, which I now have, I think, a bit more, like I separated this bit, this little hair bit, to be a bit more separated, so I can add a different, bit more animation to that too. Yeah. Did I see Lullaby for a Princess? Yes! Very nice. It's beautiful. It's been a while, so I can't really say too many specifics about it. But yeah, I remember it. I think I might just take this and duplicate it so I'd have another copy of it, and then just add on to that instead of starting from scratch, so I can maybe go through this faster. So I'll just call this try v3 all zoom out copy, and then let it save. Okay, and then go back here, and then 4, make that the same, because once you make a keyframe, you can change the symbol itself, and because I duplicated it, like make a new copy, it thinks that it's a completely different object entirely. So yeah, a lot of projects that I can do these animations really would take 2 days a week, just about 3 minutes. Yes, yeah, independent on how fast you are, or the detail that you want to put into every frame, that'll definitely change how long it takes. Yeah, so because I got this new version, I feel safe to just kind of clean it up. What I see here, that looking at this is a very clean keyframe layout here, so I'm really happy with how this is looking. So, but I want to look at that, I got different arms here. Let me see what's this called. This is leg, so I need front leg, bent arm, but got like help. I'm gonna see if I can use this leg instead, because this one is a bit more advanced and has this frame. Because I drew all these new frames, so I wanted to see if any one of these, something like this might work. These are back frames. Okay. Ooh, we got some emojis. Now I'm not sure what they mean now. Now it's gone. Okay, where'd it go? There it is. I'll also click this so I can see different types now. Wanted something, and it just keeps going for no real reason. Maybe like this. See how that looks. Well, it has to be like that, so I'd have to flip that one around for this. So I'm just testing to see if a different arm shape would look better, and I'm kind of liking how this one kind of looks instead of just this basic arm. So I wanted a more rounded leg, but now I see like this, the shoulder or bottom bit of the arm is backwards, so I'm gonna make a new, because I have this new column here, so I'm gonna take it, because these are on different layers, I can easily just flip it. Okay, and now I'm editing the actual shapes of these. You have to be mindful of where the stage ends, So there won't be too much like movie magic of like, it's like having a Muppet. You know, you don't want to have Kermit go off, you know, show too much below. So, and because it's using this stupid camera that I should not be using, because it just doesn't work yet. Ah, it's backwards too. So my D-pad doesn't work as well, because I don't know which way it's going. Okay, it's flip back, but we can change it back to, now it's here, and okay. And our little white dot is in the wrong place. Okay. Now I don't know where stage bit is. Oh. Ah, okay. And again, it's the wrong one. Ah. That was stuck at work, were you? Every time animating this? Oh no. I mean, this is, you know, you're stuck at work and this is pretty much my job, so. Yeah. I've already got paid last month work, so. This is my own life choices, but man. Seems a lot of work, a lot of tiring work here. Okay. I'm just gonna, I don't like that color though. So I'm gonna make it maybe black so I can see it. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna animate that arm and then it goes down. And then I'm gonna change her head to be a bit more upright. Like actually looking up more. Oh, she looks really sad right now. But should be fine. And I believe that if I can make a line that's there, and that this is the line, so I just have to not cross that line to make it not have the Muppet effect. Okay. Okay, enough stalling. I'll start working on animating this arm bit. Okay, so it goes across and then a little, kind of overshoots a little bit here and then it kind of goes back. And then it goes out and in a little bit. And then it just kind of sloops down. We can see that. Where is this? We can see this black bit just kind of just goes down, just straight vertically down. There's no curve to the arm as it goes down. It's just down. So with this bit I just want to maybe add a curve or at least rotate it in some way there. So I'm just planning on what I want to do with this. And now we're all on the same page of what I want to do. Alright. And I got the right arm. The white circle is in the right place, and I'm just gonna kind of copy the same where the keyframes are and start going from there. So just trying to see based on the kind of curve of it about where it should be. And there shouldn't be too many easings because I was a bit lazy with all this whoopity whoops with the eye. It goes a bit too far and then kind of zoops back. And I'd say zoop because it just kind of, because it overshoots in this bit. You can watch the black arm where it goes a little bit further and then it kind of again zoops a little bit. It's not a zoop is a really quick one, but just couldn't find another adjective for it. Kind of. That's looking pretty good. I'm seeing the neck just kind of move right there. You can see like this line right here. I'll zoom in, cause I'm just like looking. Can't you see it? When I kind of just zoom in, For some reason this line goes back and forth when it shouldn't. So I'll have to fix this. Where it is. So in this layer, the neck layer, that moves, so I'll copy this and move it over there. So now it should be the same identical frame, just moved over. Oh, you like my hair? Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, it's all natural. There's nothing. The only thing I put on it is shampoo, which isn't too fancy either. So, yeah. Just gotta get kind of paranoid about it because, like, I'm on camera now. I gotta look fancy. So, that's the only reason. Oh yeah, it's 4 a.m. Where you are? It's like dinner time for me, like 6 right now for me. So we have to be east or west. Not sure. So now it'll go. My purple arm needs to go back out to the left, and it goes a little bit further, and then it kind of settles in. That's what I'm looking for. It kind of settles. So if all animation is really just animating curves. So when you have an arm, or let's say a pendulum. So we have a pendulum here, and so you want it to be up here. What's the right way to animate the pendulum to get up here? What kind of shape does it need to get to here to here? So the wrong way is to do this. That's just a straight line from point to point. Most in-betweeners would probably, inexperienced ones would probably try and do that. That's the wrong way. So what you want to do is try to do the most subtlest kind of curve that I got here, which might not have been the best one. So you probably want to move this over, and then kind of get that kind of nice curve to it too, like that. So that's what I'm trying to visualize when I try to do this too, is that everything kind of moves, and then kind of it has its own, everything has its own physics. So as with everything, everything has physics. So with every motion, there's always a little bit of give. Everything has weight to everything. So everything kind of, and you have your own, you know, your muscles are probably the last thing to figure out where everything wants to be. So when I'm doing this, it has its own physics of it kind of going down and then a little bit up. So that's what I'm usually, that's my favorite part of animating, is to figure out the physics of overshoots and settles. And those are they part of the 12 basic principles of animation? Like with curves and everything else. So I just wanted to explain that a little bit right there. So, oh, you're from Hungary. Nice. Well, never been there. That's cool, man. I'm thinking we're gonna do this on 2s and then add a new keyframe here and have this kind of bend down as it goes down. So I'm gonna take this and just kind of figure this out. So it's going down. Honestly, I can see it kind of turning the other way. This is what you try to do, is try to also try to figure out in real life. And I got this camera now, so it's kind of easy to see where everything goes as you do it. So I can kind of see it practically just turning this all the way upside down too, but maybe not too much. I would just Yeah. Squash and stretch is probably the most basic thing that probably the first principle in classic animation that I'll show you. In any type of 3D, otherwise stop motion, squash and stretch is also important. It just doesn't seem too important when like you have real characters that you still want to add some bit of weight to everything. So you want to include something like that, especially more physical actions. Especially when, you know, if something's falling down, you want to add some squash and stretch as it falls down. So I'm kind of adding this in like twos now. Of this spinning, get the right thing. Spinning, then turning down. And then it deletes. So hopefully we can see. Okay. Having it on twos looks kind of obvious, so I might put this now on ones. Get rid of this, and I will put one of these. Is that it? Should be this. Now I can see. This is a bit busy. There we go. So if you can see, let me make this white. So if you can see this blue bit and then this green bit, I'm now trying to figure out where I could put the in-between for these. So that's just to smooth out because I'm changing the frames inside of it. I want to keep it sort of consistent so it doesn't have too much actual physics to it. And then this is just zooming it down further. Yeah. So you can see it kind of bend down and go down. Cool. Oh yeah, I have extra layers that don't need to be here. Like this, this, that, and tail. That aren't part of it. Meant to zoom in. Okay. So that's the one bit done. That's the arm done. Of it just going down that I wanted to fix up. Maybe oh yeah, here's some squash and stretch. That it kind of stretches up, but then the whole body then mellows out and settles. So I squished the whole body there for this bit. I want to go in and not sure about the line art of this. Isn't too, for me, doesn't look too clean. So I just wanted to, if I see like a hard point, I'll go in. Because you shouldn't be able to see like an angle to any of this. Because all of them are all the characters are very smooth. So something like this. What part is this? This is just a weird body. So I might just go ahead and make this into a point. So things are either points or curves. Like that. Because you want to be careful that it doesn't just totally becomes a point. Ah. Got some more people. Nice. Hola. Yeah. It's a Friday night, so sure a lot of people are now hanging out, and now you're all hanging out with me. So that must be a compliment. I'm doing something right. All right. Cool. I'm liking that. did I only hide it, or yeah, it's still here, so I can get rid of this whole frames here of the last leg that we had. Okay, and we'll save it. Take a little break. Stretch. Alright. And then as I, worked with the movie on Wednesday, that I do the body first, and then head facial expressions, and then secondary animation, which is usually the hair. So I'm figuring out the body first and make sure that's all looking good. For some reason I'm seeing like this leg goes down, which is like a nice little cute touch, but don't think we need it. I think I changed this hair. Let me see. So I could easily type good. So I can see between here, wait, here, and here, that this neck, can you see it? Nope. I'm in the way. If you can see this head, like this neck hair here, on the, on this library here, that it gets bigger. So I'll have to go in here and see if this animates at all. And it does a little bit. Not at all. Okay. So I'll go in here, clear, keyframes, and then make it a bit bigger, like that. Alright. Yeah. Something happening in the chat. Alright. Looks like some of you are going to bed that live around here. At least where I am. Close. At least in America, maybe. Okay. That's looking better. Cool. Because she's sitting, it's kind of hard to tell that between it being a unicorn or alicorn. So I'll probably just leave it like that. I might add like a cheek thing. Did I do that? Okay, I left a cheek there. Should have a little line like that, and it kind of go with her spushing her hoof into her face. So I might try to follow the curve of that a little bit too. Okay. So I'm trying to see about where that would be. Alright. So remember to go back and forth between inside and outside the body, because I can't see both of them at the same time. Okay. Then we zoom out to say, is that looking okay? Okay. Maybe just we're just going in and out and tweaking and seeing what looks okay or not. See if it looks like a weird scratch now. That's okay. So I might add another keyframe just to change it a little bit. So you can either, if you want to make a change, you can either make a duplicate or just make a new frame. So it depends on whether it's a real symbol or like just a container that has other frames inside it. Of course, the head contains a lot of symbols inside it instead of different frames inside it. Okay. That looks okay. So from there to there, I can animate the cheek following it 2. See if that looks okay. Yeah. So you want that kind of smooshy kind of face feel. Like she's really moving her. Oh. Really moving her face around. These are these little details that I was talking about earlier. That's like, it's probably not as needed, but once it's there, you can really appreciate it more. And it's these small things that's like pretty quick to edit in, so it's not like adding too much to it. That it's not like I'm adding the whole leg to it or something. Adding much more animation to it. Okay. And then from there, you keyframe and then just kind of disappear. Okay. Yeah, that's alright. Okay, this shot is working pretty well. Ooh. I usually go pretty slow, just going frame by frame. See if I miss anything. Like this hair flop, that's okay. Then she just blinks, okay. So when you open your eyes will be dilated more and then small out. So I might just add like maybe like 2 or 3 frames of the black parts at the beginning be bigger. Yeah. And then it quickly will get back into place. So you kind of see it, that it's starts out big, then it kind of adjusts to the light real quick. Oh, how many frames per second? This is 24 frames per second for a traditional TV and animation. Yep. Of course, you know, most videos now might be 30 or like 29.98 or something weird. And then video games are more typically now rendered at 60. So, with animation, you don't want as many frames per second because it just creates more work. But if you're up to it, creating an animation at 60 might look pretty smooth, but it just gets that kind of uncanny smooth. If that makes sense, that it's like it's just feels too smooth at that point. I'm gonna move these ears a little bit lower. To make it feel like it's tilted up. And then adjust the hair. Make sure it fits onto the ear. And then yeah. I think I'll move these down too. I think that it's a bit slow, but I think it's fine. Between there and here and there, it's a bit different. Try to keep consistency between these two frames. Okay. Then it goes up a bit too high. And then that. And then that. That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Oh, really? Trying to make a game that ran at 24, made it nauseous? Man. Yeah. There was also like that, one of the Hobbits movie was like at 48 frames per second, and that made people kind of, did it make them sick or something, or probably not as much, but it just seemed like that. You ever see like soap operas that are like at 30 frames per second and it just seems way too smooth, that it just feels weird? It's like, oh man, it makes it feel like it's real life that you're watching instead of a television show with the soap operas. I was like, something, I don't know, like something with their like early 2000s soap operas or something would like use much higher frame rates for whatever reason. I'm okay with the mouth looking kind of pouty. I just thought that'd be a cute joke. Okay. Until I can find more things to fix, I think we'll be good with this shot. So I can move on to the next one. Now I can see it all in context. And if you want to see the lighting, there you go. So I didn't need this extra twilight here. But thanks for the moral support, yeah. Live all night, maybe. Yeah, I'm not really. Probably will get work for me. Looks like maybe another half hour or so. So you saw that work, and I spent like maybe like a, probably a solid 5 or 6 hours working on the other rest of the animation. But yeah, we saw that that's it. All that work that we did for like the last hour or so was just those couple seconds. And again, maybe not, instead of using that, I really need it for height differences here. Spin, 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 spin. Okay. So I need to see how much bigger or not they are. I forgot the scale of them. Keep grabbing the lights. Don't touch my lights. Okay. I'm pretty sure that their body should be about the same height. So it's just a matter of, I guess, now figuring out. I made her tail smaller too. That's interesting. I guess to keep it with the consistent with the other rotation, but we can see like just how different proportions and how I've fixed her up to make her different. I'm just afraid that because this was so complex as an animation that I don't wanna really lose it. So because I got this turn, pretty much perfect as I wanted it. So, I really only had to add. I could put her. Yeah, I'm gonna see. Oh, okay. Just went to the end. I can see if I can make a duplicate of our original animation version, and then just use this as a reference again. Kind of see how tall and different her wings need to be different. So I'm gonna call. There's only 3 keyframes, that makes that easy. But inside, I have all these keyframes that need to be changed too if I do that, and then all these. Which I don't know why I did this way. Like, it could easily just have this and then have her get close and have the whole camera instead move like this. Like, either way, I'm just moving her and the background. How does the background move? I'm confused now. Like, what's telling? Maybe, oh. Ooh. That's cool. Oh yeah, so you can see like the perspective that I added to this wall here. So you can see this back wall. That just kind of flips that way. Okay. And then I'll add Vesper in the back there to the one in the hood to be different. Update her design. Okay. So what I need to draw. Oh, I think this is only. I only added this keyframe tween at the bottom here, just to add the blur. And then for some reason I added the zoom in on in here. So I don't know why I did that. Like, it should be about the same timing between there and there to there to there. But in the animatic that we changed now, going back here, it's Twilight Sparkle. Welcome. So it's a bit quicker, I think. So like, what? And then it rotates and then extreme zoom up to get her to talk there. So her talking needs to be afterward. If I replaced Twilight with Derpy, yeah, that'll be fun. This is again for Josh Scorch. Man, I can't speak. Josh Scorcher's video, so probably not allowed to change things too much here. So I think I'm just gonna go for it right now. That's part of it, that because I already had a lot of this already set up, as you see, so it's just a matter of how do I fix it now to make it work. Up to the stage of history. Yeah. Just make this similar. Turn blur, and then let it save and compute that new thing. Okay. And now in here needs to be different. Sort of. Because now I don't have her here. I don't have New Twilight as a reference. That's disappointing. Look, here she is. And now somehow I wanted to use the other Twilight on the other stage to use as a reference. That's a problem that I can't. That is, it only shows the one symbol instead of the whole context. It's saving. Okay. Can I click things? Okay. Boo. Okay. Is that good? Or is that good? That's good. Okay. Now it should be about the, yep, right around, right size here. Okay. So now, okay. I think I'll put you as, let me make a new layer and put you there. You can call you, once the trigger's loading, you just move it to a different layer. Doesn't have to totally freak out. Try copy. I just need her to figure out how big old Twilight needs to be now. Okay. Lock her. Okay, we're at the beginning. So I have to change basically the whole thing now. Now, as I was planning before, I could put the whole head, this layer, into one symbol, and then move that symbol up instead of having to go keyframe to keyframe and move it up. And then just make the leg, and then just work on the neck, making that longer instead. So I think I'll try that first, see how that works. So take the whole thing, take the whole layer, and then yeah, I guess copy frames, that'll work. Wasn't quite sure what's gonna happen. See if it lets me, and then make a new symbol. Twi v3. This is turn all. Paste frames. This is something that's not, you know, basic or something that. This is more just me trying to hack it into making it right with what I have to make it seem right, yeah. So, this is not an animation lesson, this is more trying to get away with using what I have and then using hacks, pretty much. I mean, it's not really a hack, it's just more of a life hack kind of thing where you just kind of have to use the tools in a different way than you would have to otherwise. Because I'm only moving her head like maybe like that much higher. So need to see if these line up. Okay. Cool. So now I have a lot of Twilights here. So I'll get rid of that. So now her head should still feel that. Good. We're getting there, but man, this isn't really gonna take too long. It's just figuring out and keeping track of all this now. It's gonna be a sort of a bother. This might go in and just steal his neck. There's gotta be a lot of weird things going on here. Trying to imagine if I should again. I mean, the amount of time debating on whether to change the neck like we did the head where we made a whole new symbol, or go per keyframe and just change the number inside of here to whatever this becomes and just planting it in the same spot and kind of get it around the same area. So I made this new neck here, so I'm trying to figure out where in the space it should be. Right around there maybe. I can see where the other ones line up. Okay. And this will be frame 24. So I'll just have to try 24 for all these keyframes later on. But not really, because it changes right around the halfway point, so that makes that easy. I just need to make sure that all these line up. Okay. And the next one, this is 24. And then here. Yeah, this is a bit crazy what I'm trying to do. What I was doing with the leg earlier, where it kind of flapped down, that's That's more real animating. This is more trying to use Flash with its tool to kind of break boundaries and with what you should be able to do. And when it allows you to do it, it's not totally out of the realm, but it's just not quite what it was originally made for using. So that's that. And now, there we go. So now we need her version of front neck, which is basically the same. Okay. So I'll just have to go back in here and just make this one longer by editing the... This is getting laggy now. Oof. Yeah, didn't even figure it out. Okay. Can't see where that's going. Okay. So now I'm adding more length to the neck by taking the original version Twilight's neck and adding more length to it. You want to make it smooth transition into it? Okay. That should work. That looks good. And then that should work for the rest of it. Okay. Now the one thing is that this... Let me see with this. With this angle, that I'm using this hair instead. So I have to... Is this anything special? Not really. So I'll go back here and probably do the same thing where I change the frame number for here. Go in and add the symbol into it like this. Try to line it up so what we had before doesn't change much. Volkswagen. Paper de Ribeiro. Yeah, that was fun. What about it? So I smelled said Paper de Ribeiro. That was one where she kind of knocked over a cart. That was the whole joke. And then the cart ran into different places across time and space. Can't see, so I'll get rid of normal Twilight. Okay. Right, just two there. Okay. And then I have to make it single frame too for the rest of this. Thankfully this doesn't go on for too long. This is mostly kind of covering up my tracks because I used a different version, pretty much an incomplete version for the teaser, which I'm now just kind of I'm the only one here to blame really that I wanted to change it. Should be like 30 something so I can see that it should be flipped. Okay. So this hair needs to be horizontally flipped, which is easy because we can go inside the symbol and then adjust it from here and we don't have to worry about it. That's much now. Boop. Okay. And there. Everything's fine. That turned out a little easier than I thought, but I was thinking about it for a long time of how I wanted to go about it, so I'm glad nothing got in my way technically. I need to fix the wing too. Not sure about this hair right here. Oh, because the neck changes it. The head doesn't follow it as well now. So I have to get it here and then trying to move my keyboard forward. Okay. And then let me see. So there to there to there needs to change. Like her head wasn't over as much. And then over here. Okay, that's good. Can't move it. Ah. It makes it really weird because I can't move it over left. Okay. That's alright. I need to change the wing again. Like I said, just got distracted with that other thing. Okay. So now I need you in this. I could just probably just take this art version. Oh my. Star City, you okay? You tried building a castle in a swamp? What? Ooh, what happened? Okay. This is kind of default and kind of matrixed out there. Okay. So I can go back into here because each shot is hopefully going to be a different file. I don't have to care about cross references and stuff of it freaking out or anything. Boop. What kind of animation are you doing? Okay, Zachary, this is I don't know, I'll explain it really. So the teaser for this is in the description with the YouTube link there. So that should hopefully explain some of it. And then this is going to be the final, longer version of it. Oh man, starts over. Okay. I'm not quite getting what you're putting down there. Oops. Okay. That's our thing. Oop. Just when she rotates, it gets a bit wonky. So I need to. I guess I kind of like things being in twos instead of everything in tweens. Because I've been working with tweens, you know, pretty much since I started, so everything in twos feels much more in control, like it's much more traditional to have things be in twos. Like, you know, Disney and people would animate in twos often. Pretty much, they had to. I'm gonna. Oop, okay. That's interesting. No, I clicked the belly. I need wing. And I'm gonna change the wing style to this part. Oh, that's the same. Okay. That might work. I'm afraid because I had to have a helper in that one. Oh, it's in my Monty No, I'm so sorry. I haven't never watched that. I'm sure I watched the short skits and stuff, but never any of the movies. Okay, I'm gonna. I mean, let's see. This is in 2 layers here. I'm gonna copy frames. This is very. This is more of a how do I do this kind of stream now than our like our snake one where I had to ask you guys what kind of color snakes you want. This gets tricky because I have to line these up pretty much perfectly to make it work. Okay, so from here, there, all the way to here. Boop. Hope this is, you know, interesting. Still got a couple people watching. Nice. Okay. Is this interesting? I mean, this isn't your typical, you know, linear animation. This is advanced animation, which isn't really animation at this point anymore. It's more like almost programming, because I'm having to use indexes and symbolizing and compartmentalizing instead of artistic animation knowledge now. And it is kind of, you know, going back and forth over and over to make sure everything's fine now. Okay, so whoop. Okay, and then, oh, she has two heads. Forgot about that. I think her hair here could be something with my toolbar freaked out. Kind of wigged out a bit. Okay. Where is this? I will find you. Somewhere between here. Let her head be a little forward. Yeah. Oop. I think her tail actually has a little bounce to it, but doesn't exactly need it. Needs more of a drag instead. Which doesn't make sense because the camera's rotating around, so if you flip a camera around, it doesn't make your tail spin. But it's small enough that it doesn't exactly matter. So I think I can just get rid of, clear that, move tween, and then just move this back. Yeah. And then this tail needs to be similar. Favor this tail. Okay. And again, I haven't even got to like the head animation bit yet either. Like we can work on that too. Where her head needs, at least her horn needs to be bigger. For some reason her horn grew a little bit. And then this one needs to be taller too. Unless it's the same one. Then I was just making both of them bigger. Yeah, I did. Okay. I think the lip sync's alright. Okay, I think her irises again could be smaller. It's like, what? What's going on? I don't hear anything, but I think I'm being watched. Make these a bit smaller too. Nope, this bit. Make them consistent. Okay. And these bits can be smaller too. Okay. Yeah, not much really to say here. That I'm just kind of going in and fixing things as I see it. The neck is thick. Interesting. Oh yeah, I see it a little bit. That could be easily arranged. Something happens between, like, it then spins a little bit too long. I think these need to be over one. So then it's on twos instead. Okay. Cool. Here's her floating head there. Cool. Here's her neck, so we can make it a bit thinner. Maybe about that much. Okay. It's just gonna look a bit weird because it's like seems too tall when it's really not that much tall. We'll point out all your mistakes when the finished videos comes out. Thanks guys. Yeah, because I also worked on that the KP Discord perspective video, and then someone did like a set of its sins of pointing out like every animation error in it, and it's like I felt, you know, let's bit sad because I did leave a lot of those myself. So I was like, oh, you pointed out all the animation mistakes in it. So it's like, oh man, I left the extra head in there too, and you guys didn't tell me about it. There it is. Okay, I need that one. I don't need, it's locked, isn't it? Where is it? This one. This is regular head. And this, for some reason, is now torso and front, which I'm using for that. Maybe I'll just guide it so outside will disappear. So I smell. Oh, see you later. I'll be back on a different schedule. So, sorry about that. That I keep changing it. Okay. So now, these are basically the same now. And I can see like that neck was a bit big. And the wing is a bit different too. But I think it works with the rest of it. Like as it rotates, the rotation works really well. Like we'll go inside here. Yeah. The wing's okay. So. Alright. See you later. And now we're down to some many. I'll probably wrap up in like at top of the hour. So won't be missing too much in the animatic. I'll go back to it to see again. Remember to resub? That it zooms in past Twilight into her, so I can work on that. So this bit is just Twilight zooming in. And then this bit, somehow, I don't know how exactly it's zooming in, which is really freaking me out. That I don't know how in the world, that there's no... Oh, it's the camera at the top. Oh my god. Wow, okay. Ugh. I don't think the Twilight, that, this, the words, the spotlight needs to move. Maybe it does. Okay. So I just need to, for some reason, I have it, so that's not the same. I'd like to just move it so it's the same. Length, it's freaking out, and there we go. And now it's gonna save it. Okay. So I'll just move this back 1, 2. Okay. So now, if I press 3, it should work now. Okay. So that's all the same. And I needed to go past her into directly into just Vesper. So go here, click my camera tool, and about 7 minutes, yeah, approximately, or when I feel like this is pretty much done. This is gonna be super zoom. I'll have to play around with it. Nope. And make it about where the storyboard said. I can hide it. Okay. And now and then she says welcome. Princess Twilight Sparkle. And now I need Sparkle herself to expand and kind of zoom out. And then the little bits are showing. That's weird. Ah, they're different. Nope. Using all properties together? What? Custom? I had a custom. Oh my gosh. I had a custom ease into here. Crazy. I think I'll just classic ease for that. Oh my gosh. I still got that sound on. Serena Laura Globez. Oh man, it went away. Thank you. Wherever you are. Nice. This needs to be 20 then. To keep it consistent. And we'll figure out. Usually what I do with it kind of when it's stuttering a bit is I just put it into wireframe and it works faster and I can still see what's going on. And that works pretty good. I might put Twilight a little bit closer in. Can you see her then? Nope. I don't know what this pink is. Well, that's the spotlight. And the spotlight needs to move with her. Which, I don't know why I did all that without keyframing it. Oh yeah, you can see the 3D motion now too. That works pretty well. So we need to get this, and I need to not do that. I need to press the one next to it. Ah! Wrong one. Everything in between that. There we go. And then here, I'm just moving the spotlight that I had over her, over Twilight, to now still be over her when she moves out of the way. And when we do the zoom. Nice. And then she says welcome, and then and then we cut it right there. Welcome. And then we leave like 2 frames there. And then cut. Okay. So this is only like a 15 and a half second sequence that I've got here, but man, I've already been like, yep, it's already been like 2 hours already, and yeah, I only did like a little bit here. Nice. I'm liking that. I like that very big perspective to it. Alright, I haven't done the easing on here. Because there's like a million other ways to tighten this up if I wanted. This was just, you know, the very basic, and there's not much true animation in here. I wouldn't really say that, but it doesn't seem as show accurate, but it's the best I can do. I mean, I'm been practicing with the paper ponies a bit too long that I forgot how to really animate these well, and just how much detail needs to go into every little bit of the animation. Yeah. Well, I was glad I'm able to get all the way here. Turns that I've finished pretty much everything that I wanted to do today, so glad about that. Um, I'll go in here and see why she has a horn. She doesn't need a horn.
Princess Twilight Sparkle.
And then she says welcome, and then I'll lip sync that and then move her around a little bit more. Oh, and then she says that eventually, but this line here, but that's actually much later, so get rid of that. And then what I would do is copy the other line, the actual audio line, into here, and then continue with that and lip sync that more and animate her. What I really want to do is fix her up because we redesigned her a little bit, because this is like a mock-up of her right now. So yeah, so underneath her thing that's her whole head, so sorry about that. Underneath her mask is, I got rid of her eyes and it's just Twilight with her basic stuff, so
Twilight Sparkle.
yeah. And then, you know, if I really wanted to, I could have her face also move around a little bit, but I feel like that might be a bit too much. And I haven't met with the other animators that'll be contacting, so I don't know what kind of style we really want with this. Like, should it be super show accurate or just kind of not lazy, but that's interesting. I am Vesper now. Just see like the real degree of show accurate animation that we want to do, and what's, you know, reasonable with how long our, because this is part 1 of our animatic that we got, and it's already, yeah, we don't even have the storyboards even ready yet for even part 1. I'm just calling it part 1 because Flash doesn't like it when your files are over 11 minutes long in runtime, so I had to split it up a little bit. Yeah, that's just my little doodle to say. There's no storyboards from the other guy yet. He's not slow, it's just there's just a lot of storyboards to do, so we'll keep working on that. There's a couple more voice lines that I need to put in here too, but yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much all I need to say for now. So the runtime for this, right now, whatever, I mean, it's already over 11 minutes in runtime, plus there'll be not animated parts, where it'll just be like, have like visions that'll be like actual show clips from the show that'll just be edited in, and then little pointy ponies will be in there too, and then the regular show style will be in there too. So this is a real endeavor that I'm taking on right now, and we started the teaser like in the summer, and then we started working on the real animation here like only in December, so we don't have everything quite ready. I just kind of wanted to like jump the gun and just start working on the real animation to see if my puppet was, you know, that was basically just a puppet test with what I just did today. So I'm glad that worked out pretty well, that there was no real conflicts with the puppet, and I was able to get real-time feedback with you guys to work with that. So think about done today. So, and then I hope to do more streams because I got this webcam now, which I don't know how that turned out well. I'll probably have to fiddle around a little bit more with it, maybe out of border, or put my face around somewhere else. Ooh, it's saving. Okay. So I hope to probably scale back my schedule with streaming and not do 3 times a week. I'm thinking about maybe just doing maybe like 2 times a week. Maybe like, I was thinking about just doing like a Tuesday and Thursday around the same time when I start here, just because the timing is pretty easy for me. Slating the evening so I can kind of chill out with you guys now. So again, around Tuesday and Thursday will probably be probably the permanent, hopefully, schedule for the rest of the whoever I want to do this for. And I hope to start working on stream with another project that I'm working on too. So that's been a long time coming, like a couple years. I just haven't had enough time to really work on it. So we'll see about that. But for now, yeah, that's about it for now. So thanks for watching, and see you again soon.